Hello, Internet. It's BoneCarlos coming to you live from the bottom of my heart to the squishy part of your brain. Wow, it's been a long day, guys. Cut me some slack. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with another review of. There we go. Ta-da! Alan Wake. A great game. Loved it. Greatly overshadowed by the fact that it came out during the same week of Red Dead Redemption. So I hope this video kind of encourages you to play this awesome game. But before we do, let's go ahead and have some words from Alan Wake himself. So there we go.
Stephen King once wrote that nightmares exist outside of logic, and there's little fun to be had in explanations. They're antithetical to the poetry of fear. In a horror story, the victim keeps asking why, but there can be no explanation, and there shouldn't be one. The unanswered mystery is what stays with us the longest, and it's what we'll remember in the end. My name is Alan Wake. I'm a writer.
So there you have it. If you didn't pay attention, rewind it, listen to that part again, because this is pretty much central to what kind of game Alan Wake is. This isn't driven by an action sequence. This isn't driven by superb graphics, even though the graphics were great. Even it's not going to blow you away with the sound, even though they were very well done. This is a game that just centralizes itself around a story, brings you into that story, and then doesn't let go. I just wish a lot more games would do this in their development instead of just pushing the story as an afterthought. Because how many great games have you just loved, and then the story just fails to deliver, and it turns out to be an okay game instead of a masterpiece that it should. This is a game that balances it out. It's a damn near perfect story. It can be translated into a book or a movie or a TV show, no problem, very well, very easily. And it's also a great game with great mechanics, great set pieces, awesome graphics, sound, everything is just top notch overall. So let's just go ahead and backtrack a little bit and just talk about the actual game itself. As you can see, I'm fighting off a Taken is what they're called. Pretty much they're just shrouded in darkness, and you use your flashlight to burn it away. Use your weapon to finish them off. Sounds simple, and really it is, but the game does throw a few curveballs at you. Let's talk about the different weapons you managed to get. You get your own trusty flashlight, obviously, and then you could also upgrade it to I think it's heavy duty and then industrial sized flashlight. Pretty much all it does is increase the time you could focus in on it to burn away the darkness faster, and I think the beam also gets a little bit bigger. It also has a couple other weapons, but I gotta say, if given a choice, I'd rather take a flashlight over the revolver any day if I was stuck in this game, because in another game have I been so reluctant to go into a dark area, because as you can see, you see a couple flashes of light, and this is like the lighthouse, and then to the left you see a little lamppost. The more you play the game, the more those stand out, and the more you want to reach them, because staying in the darkness really just gets to your core. At least it did for me. Okay, well, going back to the weapons anyway, you get a revolver, flashlight, obviously, like I just mentioned. You could also carry a shotgun, which is a double barrel or an automatic, and then you could also put in a hunting rifle in that same slot, just selectable by the D-pad. So it's revolver up, and then shotguns or the rifle, like I said, to the right, and then down you could select your grenades, which would be flash and flare. They pretty much function flare. You set it off, and it keeps the Taken away from you. You pretty much just walk away from the flare, and then a flash, you just set it off, and it'll blow them up. Pretty much just like that. You could also have a flare gun, which if you select to the left, but those are few and far between, and really you get kind of lucky when you see those. You kind of get kind of your blood pressure drops a little bit, your heart rate drops a little bit when you get a flare gun, since yeah, you have an easy way out. But again, they're so few and far between that it's not really much of a doesn't really bring down the game down to easy mode. Since it is a survival horror game, this game does pace you very well, and it also has a good it starves you well on resources as well. Sometimes you'll have a lot of resources and you'll be able to breeze through a certain section, but if you're not careful, you'll run through them real quick through your supplies, and then you'll be stuck in the harder part with 7 shots in your revolver and then 1 battery. I didn't mention it before, but you can pick up batteries to recharge your light to be able to focus more on it. As a barrel damn near gets me killed. So that's pretty much it on the weapons. This is real simple, real basic, not that difficult to comprehend. The enemies do spawn out of nowhere, and it really gets to you. But sometimes the camera does slow down and zoom in on them, so you know where they're coming from. But even though it zooms in on one, it's not going to zoom in on the 4 other ones that are trying to surround you. The AI isn't stupid here. It's not going to rush on the same path. They will break off and try to flank you, which I love. This game could have easily fallen into the category where their AI is an idiot. But no, it was well done, and it and they do act accordingly. There's 3 different types of enemy, well, 4 different types of enemies. Crows, birds, obviously, and then there's 3 different type of taken. For some reason, I nicknamed them Lil Jim, which are fast taken. They teleport around a little bit, but they die the quickest, Regular taken, I didn't nickname him, and then he's pretty much an average. He's not slow or fast, and has average health. And then Big John, which is slow, but he has a charge ability and just takes a lot of punishment. Those are the enemies. That's it. And like I said, this game isn't really much about the action. It's more about the story. As you can see here, sometimes you'll get little warnings that only your flashlight could see, and they become apparent as to what they are later on. But as of right now, all you see there's their caches of weapons and loot, or just weapons, really, supplies to last you out. So that's pretty much it. I didn't talk much about the story. I didn't want to give out anything at all on the story because of the way this kind of game is. I tell you one thing and it could easily spoil it for you. So I left it ambiguous and didn't want to go too much into it. But if you guys want numbers, here they come. Story wise, I would give this game a 10 out of 10. It's great, perfect. I wouldn't change it any other way. My girl watched me play this, and she got a completely different idea of what happened in the end than I did. Graphics are great. HD, they're pretty solid, so I'll give it an 8.5, 9 out of 10. Sound, I loved. It was great. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. You don't know if what you heard was a rustle of a taken coming after you, or if it was a bird taking off in flight. You just don't know. AI was solid. I'll give it an 8. Immersion. There was a few things like to get certain achievements you had to pick up certain items, and that kind of pulled me out of it a little bit, but otherwise it was really great. It really kept me intrigued, and I'll give that one a 9. And taking all these little I'll put all that stuff on in the description bar below, but overall I'll go ahead and give this game a 9 out of 10. Really great. I recommend this for anybody. And if you guys out there have any games you all want me to review, leave it in the comments. I'll see what I can do. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.